Fired? Have you recently lost your job with a major toy manufacturer? Tariffs got you down? You may be entitled to sharing your story on a major media streaming outlet. We want you to dish the dirt. Call Circle of Jerkz at 900-555-0979. We will exploit you for our personal gain. That number again is 900-555-0979. Circle of Jerkz. Every client gets a cookie.
Good morning, sir.
Guns don't work on Sunday.
Whoops. All right, so that's our Sunday opening clip. Since normally we don't work on Sundays. Let me figure out how to get this off the stage.
Good morning,
And
sir.
whoops, I played it again. Hey, who's doing that? Somebody's doing that. That's Speck, because I see him laughing backstage. Go ahead, Speck. You muted yourself.
I was trying to help you out.
Well, you kept hitting it.
I'd hit remove, and then as soon as I hit remove, you'd put it right back on.
All right. Well, I know that we're all lawyers now, but we're still gonna bring in our dancers, I think. Is this the right music? Yeah, there we go. All right, who's our best dancer? Because one of them does a spin. Terry usually does glitter in the air, and then let's do the guy that spins. Let's bring on a punk with toys.
And you know what? That mess up at the beginning, that is what I expect from our junior lawyer, Tony, who called in sick today. Can you believe it? I mean, junior lawyer calls in sick. Absolute bull crap.
He burns the coffee anyway.
But we're going to dive right into our topic. So let's bring our next dancer to the stage, the lovely Terry.
Terry's picture in the background is looking at himself and with disapproval.
I love how these special mission pictures came out, man. Really well done.
Love the black cat.
It's so funny, man. And I actually meant to add it to the slides, but I had a lot of issues today. So we're gonna see if I can just bring up another screen, and we'll bring some stuff up. Spec, while I'm trying to do that, do you want to say hi to the chat and see who's here?
Yeah, let's go through. We got Stanley, who is going to catch us on the replay. Crusty Old Crow. Checkpoint Alpha. He was early, but I believe he's back now. David T. Allen. Shark Eyes, who's wide awake, down under, checking us out. What's up, Adam? There's Checkpoint again. Mr. Wreck Ship, ahoy. Woody 222, the Figure Addict. Action Figure Addict 112. Are you guys brothers? Long lost cousins? Menhoza. E. Worthy. Russell Cruz. The Island Viper, who just did our fun little dance.
Oh wait, Harry, you're changing that name to back to Action Media, right?
Yes, it's going back to Action Media.
Okay, all right.
David R. Jason S. Yes, we are the shiny heads. Although mine looks kind of matte right now. Liquid Identity. Rolando, Utah Toy Hunter. It's very official. Lamont Knight. Cal Shave. And
we all shave.
Yeah, I need to shave. Can't really tell, but like There you
I
go.
went 2.5 days, and you could see the black that was. I'm like, ugh, if I wait till tomorrow. The other day, I was just like, it's gonna be so thick and just blow through a razor.
I just got
Mine's-
mine this morning.
I haven't shaved in at least a week. I'm overdue.
I don't remember the last time I shaved.
And Toyomic, what's up, Toyomic? All right, I think that's our current viewing roster.
All right, that's
At
not
least in
bad
the comments.
for a random Sunday, just to kind of kick off Yojo June. But what do you expect from the Circle of Jerks? It's already a shit show.
You know what? You know what you don't get this from? A toy kind of mood. He's all about G.I. Joe. I don't see him kicking off today.
Yeah, not everybody is as committed as we are, even if we can't get our media to work. We found some ways. So
That's
Spec
how
was
committed
able
we
to
are.
pull
We
up
go
the
on even
Magnum
when
for
shit
us.
doesn't go right.
Go ahead, Larry.
No.
Wait,
I
we got
understand.
somebody backstage. We got a friend of Terry's backstage, but I don't see him on camera. David, can you hear us? He's not on camera.
My camera's not working apparently.
Huh.
Something's wrong.
You want to try it again and come back?
Yeah, let me see if it'll go back
David,
up.
this is a professional production. We can't have this kind of shit.
I apologize.
I'm gonna remove you. You do what you gotta do to get your camera to come back, and then click on that link again, and I'll hear you come backstage.
Okay.
All right. This is embarrassing for all of us.
He's gonna take you seriously.
No, don't take me seriously.
Leave it blank. Just leave it blank and change your name to Black Cat Tony, and then we'll think you're Tony's face.
David, are you bald or do you have hair?
I am receding.
Okay, so then your camera needs to stay broken because if you can't match these beautiful hairlines,
No, I'm receding. I'm losing my hair, but that's all right.
All right. Well, best of luck with that, and I'll hit remove for now. You see if you can get your camera to work, and then come back on. If not, it'll be fun talking to a black circle. All right.
Black hole.
Black dot.
All right.
avoid.
All right. So he's gonna work on his equipment and maybe come back.
Hey, don't work on your equipment and come back. All right. I don't want
Might look like a special cookie.
You get the cookie. We don't. All right.
Shave your head, then come back.
I thought this show was all about working on your equipment live.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Shave your head and then come back. That's awesome. All right, yeah. So, guys, listen. The rest of the shows will be ready. Today was just, it's the weekend. We all have things we got to do outside of YouTube, and I just didn't give it enough time to let these pictures load for the slides. I'm still trying to see if I can come up with something, but for now, we'll pull this slide up for Yojo June. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
I'm excited to get plastic in my hand finally.
But are we getting anything other than more pre-orders?
Well, but we have
Did
the
you-
Amazons moved up all the last set of pre-orders, so hopefully we'll get the Dark Lawn wave in a.
Has that one been moved up?
Yeah, that one got moved up.
I mean, it seems like it would, considering like the guys overseas are getting it now. So
Let me see, because I just got my Vipers on Friday. My retro Vipers. I know you
who
guys.
was the first person to have a Viper review? You just joined the chat.
I guess July 22nd, so not June, but hopefully they'll move up again.
I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, I just wait till someone else posts, hey, this has been moved up, because it's so hard to figure out. Because each company changes it, whether it be BBTS, Amazon, Pulse, Entertainment is just, you're waiting if you order through them.
Right.
So EE Distribution has my Dark Lawn wave moved up to June of 2025. So should have those as well.
So I got a question here. Why does this work, right? But it's not just the picture by itself. I don't want it to show the library.
Do you just want the picture by itself?
Yeah.
Because it looks like you downloaded the whole thing. Are you
No,
showing a
I'm
screenshot?
saying if I move out of if I just try to make it where it's just the picture, it's not sharing it for some reason.
Because you're sharing the screen.
Yeah, I know that.
You need to share the picture, whatever app you're in, to look at the pictures.
Yeah, I have the app open, the Photos app. I don't get it. I'm messing something up, I guess. Well, I wanted to just highlight Spec's artwork here. Spec, walk us through what you did here.
So I did. Oh, this is actually an older version. This isn't the version that has Terry in it. Sorry, Terry.
Terry's right there at the bottom.
That in the background.
What's up?
Oh, the background photo, yeah.
So this is a different draft, but I did what everybody absolutely fucking hates, and I used AI. But I went in. I have all my original special missions. I looked for the covers that I thought would accommodate our cast, and I found issue 21, which had Spearhead and Tunnel Rat and Airtight, and then this cat, which I always assumed that it was Max, the Lynx, but I guess it's just a black cat in a sewer.
I always assumed it was Tony.
I threw
I'm
it.
looking at Tony's face, and I couldn't keep my drink in.
With the little ears sticking.
I threw it into Sora, and I took our photos, and I told AI to incorporate us into this cover, and I specifically told it to make Tony the cat. And that took several tries to get it to, at first it would anthropomorphize the cat, or then it would like do some weird blending, and then it finally did this, which is what I wanted. And then once AI did its magic, and I know we all have our feelings about AI, I do especially, which makes me feel like a hypocrite using it. But then I spend another several hours in Photoshop, like finessing and tweaking and changing and adding and doing all this other shit to it. So it's not just like hey, AI spit this out like this.
I'm just laughing because I spit my drink out, and you're trying to be serious. So, would you say we're not getting into all the AI stuff? Like we all have
don't have to
feelings about it. I feel
Jason, if you look, there are some hands that definitely don't have proper amounts of fingers.
But you used it more as a tool here.
I mean, I try to. It does the heavy lifting, right? I mean, like, could I do something like this? I could probably do something like this by hand. I haven't drawn like this in 20 some odd years, so God knows what it would look like, how long it would take.
Okay. This is what AI is for, to make quick little things like this in my opinion, like this is the type, hey, you know what? We're going to promote this really quick, and again, that's us. Like, well, other than me, that looks fucking nothing like me. Everyone else looks spot on, but I don't know what
it has trouble with your face in particular, because it always either adds 40 pounds, it never gets your facial hair, and it usually makes you look really worried. Like, I can show you other versions.
I look like I'm like the Gilligan of the group here.
Well, I had to give you like your mustache and goatee. Like, it never, for whatever reason, it doesn't read that in the photo. And it's just like Terry. Terry, it always gives him a mustache, and I had to go in there and paint it out.
Dude, it is so
either way, it's
fun,
awesome.
man.
It's awesome.
But I love that Zen looks like a French revolutionary in the background.
It came out so good. So,
I mean, there is no doubt on who made this, though.
Now is it showing it as a full screen by itself?
Because
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I still have to learn how the hell to do all this shit, but because I don't want to accidentally bring up pictures that I shouldn't be bringing up. You know what I mean?
Well, you have to organize them.
Yeah. Well, I'll do that going forward. I didn't know that it would happen like this today. Now I'm saying.
Oh.
And now I'm stuck out of the screen.
Oh, well, here I can. Do you want to? Boom. It looks like Mr. David Allen has his camera working.
Okay. All right. Let's get him on and those pictures off. And there we got our receding friend, David Allen. David Allen, we saw you in the chat there, buddy. How do you know Terry?
Through a mutual friend of ours, Jason Packard.
Okay. And David, we met you last year at Joe Fest, didn't we?
That's correct. I'm one of the managers of Joe Fest.
All right. Do you want to just give us a quick idea of this year? I imagine you're going to be there this year.
Oh yes, trust me, I'll be there. I'll be all over the place. It's going to be quite a year. This is probably the biggest year we'll have going forward. It seems like it grows every single year. Joe Fest is an international event. There are people that come from around the globe to this event. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Zazel from Australia, or I think his name is Chow from Trinidad. But and then the guys from Ireland, England. There's some Canadian people. There's people from all over the globe. It has become the event of the season, I should say, and it's the perfect time of the year for Yo Joe June. So it's Yo Joe Fest.
Yeah, sure.
Our guest list is beyond anything we've ever had before.
Do you want to highlight just a couple names that are on the guest list this year, and then we'll get into our topic?
Certainly. So any Joe event, no matter where it is, would not be a G.I. Joe event if you didn't have Sergeant Slaughter. And another one is a highlight is Larry Hama. So those are two of your four seminal G.I. Joe representatives across the board. Those are two of the four, like Mount Rushmore G.I. Joe representatives.
Okay, very cool. I mean, I imagine you're super excited. Will there be panels this year? Any panels?
Yes, that is one of the things that we reorganized. I don't know if you recall some of the difficulty we had last year, but we've reorganized. We have a new ballroom with much more technically savvy individuals running our ballroom panel room. So we are going to go off without a hitch, and I'm doing that. Hopefully, nothing.
So I know So anyone that was at Joe Fest last year, the room that the panel has been moved into is where they did the Sergeant Slaughter kit bashing, or what was it that they did there?
It was
meet and greet.
Yeah, well, not just the meet and greet where they were doing the.
It was a custom class.
The custom, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And and they moved. That hallway is now going to be all for booths, correct?
Yes, it's going to be an extension of our vendor floor. That'll be our second floor of vendors.
So no more people walking by while there's a panel going on and watching Travis Moody lose his shit.
Correct.
Which is always fun. I'm not going to lie. It's always fun.
Correct. I can give you a story about that whole thing. Are you familiar with Carson Metaxas by chance?
Yeah.
Yep.
2 years
Joes, and he did the big omnibus. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word.
2 years prior, there was a discussion whether we wanted to move the panel room to a different location. And Carson and I were both on the latter side of that because we thought it would be more difficult for people to come upstairs and try to go down a hallway and figure out which room the panel room was in. This is not San Diego Comic-Con. So we did not think these people were savvy enough to do that. So we opted to try and keep it in that space. So that year that you guys all attended, we kept it there, and that was a mistake that year. The year that we wanted to keep it, it was fine, but the following year it didn't work the way we thought it would work, and we didn't have enough staffing to properly deal with the issues of it. So now we have definitely moved it to the ballroom where that class was and where the Sergeant Slaughter breakfast is, which is 10 times the space, 10 times the electronics control, especially the lighting. If you remember the Seth Green panel, we had to get the hotel manager to control the lighting for us because we did not have control of the lighting. So all that's been rectified, and we are going forward with all guns blazing.
All right, yeah, live and learn. I mean, we knew that it was your first attempt at doing that last year and that we were the guinea pigs. So we gave you our feedback, and it sounds like you guys are, correcting it for this year.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we are going to attempt to go into our slides here, and then I'll go back to my shared pictures. And we'll go from there. So let's see here. We're going to come back here and see if I got any of this right. But Yojo June kicks off this. It's Wednesday, right? June 4th?
Yes.
No, Tuesday.
No, it's Wednesday.
Oh, it is Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday.
Normally they do them on Tuesday. Now they decided to do it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think a lot of us just assume that it's on Tuesday. So
that's what it was supposed to be last time. That's how the show started.
But yeah, I guess we're gonna go right into
a spoiler.
The spoiler.
The spoiler.
No, we're gonna get probably. We're probably gonna get a shit ton of pre-orders, right? So shit that we've already seen, which let's see if I can get this to come back up. You know what? Let me just remove this from the stage. And what do you guys think we're gonna see on Wednesday while I pull up some images?
I think what we're gonna see at least. So, do you want me to pick the two that I told you that?
Yeah, just go into it. Because
all right. So the original two that I said, I think we'll see digital reveals of Flash. We've already seen his weapon that came with that woke female because of Emily who did that to us. Glenda, that's her name. And this is one that I think this is going to be one of the anniversary ones, or they're not the 60th anniversary. I'm not sure what to call it anymore.
Legacy, I think.
The legacy. So they keep putting Easter eggs in everything. Well, in one of the box arts, there's a police officer in the back. I think we're going to get a legacy police officer or SWAT team.
Yeah, and there was really no image for me to share for that. You know what I mean?
I should have figured. I should have looked and seen what box it was. But there's a police officer when it was windowless, and I forget what it was. And after we've seen the Rattler in the back, we've seen the polar bear. I was like, you know what? They're going to give this to us.
Yeah, I mean, Classic Battles brings up a good point. You got to remember they'll be splitting up pre-orders throughout the month.
Yeah,
won't be a ton on the 4th. So here's my prediction: is that they're going to kick it off with probably a Rattler unboxing. I think we can all kind of agree on that because they've already sent the email out.
I think when they do the unboxings, they do it as one stream alone. So I think that might be later on. What was that?
That may be what we end up with on the 4th. Just one standalone stream for the Rattler.
No way, because they've already shown one digital render.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Do you recall during San Diego Comic-Con, Lenny trying to show the VTOL of the Rattler and him having a very difficult time trying to do that? I believe you guys said last week on your video that you were hoping that they would do another presentation. And I think it really needs a presentation to showcase that VTOL, make sure that it works, because that wasn't a very good presentation at San Diego Comic-Con.
But that was also the that was also the first model of it too. I'm surprised they haven't shown us one yet. But they normally do a full unboxing. I would guess that would be later on in the month if this thing is actually going to come, because they probably don't have it in hand. They probably don't have the final production one in hand.
Yeah. You don't think so?
I think they do.
I think they already shot the video, baby.
Yeah.
Normally when those boxes hit the shores, there's a couple Instagrammers that normally post that they're hitting shores, and we haven't seen any of that yet. I could be completely wrong.
Well, here's the thing with I mean, we can't.
I mean,
really
they would have they probably would have the final production one actually sent to them.
Yeah, I don't. Here's my guess. Like, we've already talked about the 90 days of this tariff situation before it gets revisited, right? So you're going to see an onslaught of product across all industries.
Yep.
And with the toy industry, we're going to see a ton of stuff. That's why I think we're already seeing retros. We're seeing heavy duty moved up. We're seeing all sorts of stuff that is going to be released in the next couple weeks. Maximum Hulk already showed up. All these different products are showing up because everybody's trying to beat the tariffs, right? Just in case they get revisited and they bump up again. That's what I think we're going to see with the Rattler. It's going to ship sooner than they originally intended because they're trying to beat a certain cutoff date.
Yep.
I also think the Rattler has been pushed up to now, so they don't have to hear anyone complain that, well, you're going to charge it, or you're going to try and sell another HasLab to us, and we don't even have the other one in hand.
Right.
This is the fastest. It hasn't even been 12 months.
No,
You're right.
you're right. We're not
Nope.
even at the 12-month mark. You're
Not even close. Not even close to when it went up in July.
Yeah.
We had 45 days, but someone else made a comment on another show, and they said,
months.
yeah, I think someone made the comment that maybe they just have enough faith that this is going to back, so they already started the tooling. I mean, it funded within a day, so it's
the freaking Rattler. This did not need to be a HasLab. This thing would have sold on its own.
Yeah.
You say that until it doesn't.
But it did. Okay.
Well,
I'll wait for Ollie's.
Baldy, I think is correct. I think Baldy's right, because 3 years ago when the Hiss was crowdfunded or HasLab, people were like, what's the next one? The Rattler. No one picked the Dragonfly. People were saying the Rattler 3 years ago. So people wanted that like that.
I mean, it's the same with the Vamp and the Stinger. You knew they were going to sell, right?
People want it at $100. They don't want it at $300. That's what I'm saying.
But
all these people want all these Joes. All these people want all these GI Joes for $25, and what's the first thing they say? I'll wait till Ross. I'll wait till it's at Ollie's. I'll wait till Target puts it on clearance.
Punk,
I'll
though,
wait for a good price.
we're in a YouTube video. The vocal minority is going to be much louder than the silent majority, and it has been proven over the last 3 years for these HasLabs.
But this because it's a HasLab. What I'm saying is, if they put it just out there at that price, I don't think it does as well. Guys like us are going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. But other guys, no, they're going to wait it out. Just my opinion.
Yeah. Classic, fantastic. You don't think Hasbro shipping Rattler early to take advantage of the current tariff situation? I just freaking said they are. Who knows what the tariffs be in 3 months?
He
I
just
think
came
at
in.
least that's a factor.
Yeah, that's a huge factor. I'm with you, Plastic Fantastic. Yeah, I definitely think they're trying to beat
Don't-
any possibility
Michael?
of higher tariffs.
Michael, do not let him gaslight you. That's exactly what he said. Zen's fucking gaslighting. Plastic Fantastic, who gave us wonderful things at Joe Fest. I would not do that to you, Michael.
No, Michael's actually fantastic, but right here, he just wasn't fucking listening.
I think Michael just joined, but actually, I was chatting with Michael yesterday because I've been looking for some fences for my photography, and Michael's hooking me up with some of his prints, so I can't wait to get those.
It's okay that you're late to the party. Spec is going to send you a cookie.
Wait, just me, or do we have to pass it around first?
We probably have to pass it around first.
Okay. It'll be pretty stale by the time you get it, but it might still be moist.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking
That is
moist.
awful. All right, so let's give it another shot with some of these pictures. All right, let me see if I can do this because I am not the brightest bulb, and I think we can all agree with that, which is fine.
We do.
Well, you don't have to say it so fast.
Sorry.
Hang on. Just Jeff. I think they could have sold the Rattler in stores at $150. Might not have come with all the figures and electronics, but I'm sure folks would have spent $150 on it. I would have.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Possibly, but I also think it becomes a shelf space issue.
Okay. So here's my whole thing. If they're selling it like that, everybody wants the Vamp. Why? Because there was a limited amount of them. Nobody wants the Stinger because they're on sale for $80 right now. You can constantly get them. Again, people's eyes are bigger than their wallets. You know, I bought that Rattler for $15 back in the 80s. Why is it $150? Because you're stupid. That's why. Right,
Oh man, ain't that the truth? Okay, listen. The reason I have Slice and Dice up here is because what I wanted to try and do was go over the pre-orders that we're likely going to see this month. Right. This is something that we don't really have to predict or wish list. Spec, do you want to get that from Edward?
Yeah, Edward, we got $5 from you. Thank you so much, sir. We greatly appreciate that.
But I think you
Is there a
forgot to put
comment
in
with it?
There's
I
no
think you
comment
forgot to
with
put
that.
comment in.
He's
Oh,
making
thanks,
it rain
Edward.
while we dance around the pole.
Baby.
Sometimes those super chats, they act weird and you think you're sending it and then you just sent some money. So
Yeah,
if you have something to say,
super
please
chat.
post it and we'll make sure they mention
Yeah,
it.
Edward, we're not going to skip out on you. If you have something else that you want to say, just go ahead. So here, I'm just thinking that we're getting this Slice and Dice. So we'll probably get the pre-order out there. And we had a couple pictures from Jay Khan that had leaked. So we'll probably see a finished product. Do you guys agree?
Oh yeah,
I think so.
definitely.
Now, I do want to say, I want to address what Wrecking Ship said. I fully agree 100%. First off, that TIE Fighter is huge. All right. My buddy Greg has it. But that takes up space. And I don't see places like Target and Walmart wanting to carry it. And please don't give me they carry big wheels. Okay, but that's completely different because
They carried those TIE fighters too, and they had to clearance them all. I mean, I remember I wasn't even collecting back then.
I was at
I would
Toys
have
R Us.
snagged it, but in Toys R Us,
Yep.
Target, like those boxes were massive.
They did the same with the Millennium Falcon, right? That big giant Millennium Falcon. People said they clearanced that out too because they couldn't get rid of it.
I don't know if that's accurate because I bought one at full price. I don't know about you.
I'm not saying no one will buy it at full
There was
price.
only like 2 per store. There wasn't that many per store, to my knowledge.
But they did the same thing with Castle Grayskull. Like those things were like $10. I was so happy to find one for 80 when I bought it.
Yeah.
Now it
Same
just sits
here.
up there doing nothing.
Same here.
Dude, I got in 15 of those. 15 of those Castle Grayskulls. Sold every single one of them.
How much you buy them for?
They were like 60. I think 60.
Okay. Yeah, they were 60. I think that's what it was. But they went down. I think there were 15. Like people were showing like Targets that had like 30 of them. Like when you first walked by the toy aisle. Like
Where was that? Where was that store? It wasn't in like big epicenters like New York, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles. It was probably in some bum BF place no one goes to.
They still have kids that play with toys.
Yeah.
Do they?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm told kids don't play with toys anymore. That's what I'm told.
Yeah, I was told the same
they
thing.
want more interactive, like bash and play type stuff, Ninjago, like that type of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing big that does sell, I feel that's expensive, is Lego.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's getting more expensive.
I tell everyone, I go, if you want to invest in toys, which is a stupid idea, but you want to sell something, buy Lego. It never goes down in price.
Now that's a good point, Punk, because that brand has content, and there are millions of people watching the Lego Masters television show. They're on the 5th season and like a dozen specials that they've done, and all the kids that come into my store are watching that show. So, do you think that affects the sales? Of course, it affects the sales.
Yeah, and I think you have more parents that want to play Lego or build Lego with their kids.
That's right.
But yeah, that stuff, if you're dumb and want to invest in toys as an investment, again, don't buy crypto. Just have a strong stomach for crypto because it's going to go down and come back up. Don't buy classified, don't buy Legends or Valiverse or anything like that. Buy Lego.
No lies detected.
None at all.
I am sitting on several sealed sets that I, at one point in time, wanted to open and build and didn't because of space, and now they're discontinued, and boy, have they shot up in value.
I sold a whole bunch of Andrew's old ones that he never opened up for his birthdays, and they all sold for more expensive other than the first one that I put up because I somehow did not put it. I put it to a buy it now somehow. And that guy grabbed it as quickly as I put it up there and went, "What the fuck did that sell?"
Yeah.
And then I realized what I did.
Yeah. Well, I know, I have the Ghostbusters Firehouse, and that thing was like $300, and now it's like over $1,000.
Yep, that's right. I can't get one. I want one, and I can't get one. It's too expensive.
Well, let's go right into the predictions. Who predicted this one? Terry, wasn't this you?
Yes, that is my that's my HasLab prediction. I think it's going to be the Mauler.
All right.
Well, this is what I'm thinking because the Mauler looks way different than the Mobat. The Mobat only holds one figure. You have to completely redo it. I'm starting to think that the Mauler may be the HasLab, but they do it in a way that you get Steeler and heavy duty. Is it heavy metal? Heavy metal. So you'll get your Steeler with it. So you do have a tank. Because I can't see them doing a Mobat, to be 100% honest. It doesn't. It only takes one character. Well, you have to redesign the whole thing, and it looks like a Mauler.
Yeah, it would look like the Mauler if you redesigned it.
Yeah.
Well, I heard we weren't getting a HasLab at all.
Well, there's
I heard the line's
weren't.
dead.
Say it again.
I heard the line's dead.
The line
Jones to announce the end of the classified line.
The line's been dead since 2020.
Yeah, this is the eulogy episode.
Yeah.
David, are we getting a HasLab this year?
We are definitely getting a HasLab. It will be a tease at the end of the month, and it'll be for San Diego Comic-Con. And I do believe it is going to be a tank of somewhat, but I think it's going to be modular like the Hiss tank, where you had a lot of those extra items you can add to it and make it different versions of the Hiss tank. I think we will get, like, do you guys remember the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders series of tanks where they swapped out the turrets and they were all weird looking tanks that didn't look like their original versions? I think we're going to get 4 or 5 different turrets for this Mauler, and that's how you're going to get 2 drivers, because you're going to have swappable turrets and side panels and different guns and missiles and things that you're going to be able to put on this, and you're going to have the base, and it'll be a much more appealing base product going into this than people realize.
See, there's only one problem with that, though, is that how do you justify that price, what the HasLab is going to be, when Ramen is already doing it and doing that exact same thing that you said? Great idea. I'm not trying to disagree with what you're saying, because I think I'm thinking, but I think what everything you said is awesome. But here you look at Ramen and it's like, hey, we already did this for. How much is a Ramen tank? Were they $250?
I think so.
So I think they were like
about the one with the bridge layer.
You can turn into a bridge layer, can turn into a not Wolverine. So I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things. Because I really do like your idea. Their issue is you could make like a Mobat turret. The problem is they're completely different colors, and they're 2 different colors. They're not even close. Which sucks, unless if they wanted to do it like that and then do a later version of the other one.
Hang on, okay, real quick. Hang on, guys. Hang on, real quick. So we got another super chat from Edward for $2. Thank you again. Again, he's making it rain while we're up here on the stage.
Thank you.
And he threw a comment after that saying it's going to be a Transformer. While that would be amazing, I don't think that's the case.
I would love that.
And then we have our shark-eyed fellow who said, Baldy, wasn't there a guy who was supposedly stepping away from YouTube who said that?
I think there was a guy, and since I don't want to start anything, so I'm just going to come up with a name and say his name is Chad, and we're just going to say that he did say a lot of this stuff, but we'll see.
A lot of the stuff as in there's not going to be a HasLab.
Chad said that there was rumors that there weren't going to be, but at the same time, he also talked about the focus groups and what they looked at, and that was a tank. Was it the Snowcat, a Humvee, and there was something else. There was all this stuff that they had looked at during a focus group, but nobody knew if there was actually going to be one. So that's kind of where that was left.
Wasn't the Havoc and the Thunder Machine in that focus group?
I don't know if the Thunder Machine was ever in that. Everyone takes the fact that Lenny said that the Thunder Machine will go to retail when somebody asked him, and he said, "I don't think that needs to be a HasLab." That is all that he said. But YouTubers like Viper Island love to spread fucking rumors because they love lies and shit. They got sharks swimming around their islands and stuff, spreading rumors and stuff.
Can I say something, Punk? There's something called low-hanging fruit.
Yes.
So we just got Monkey Wrench. We've got every other Dreadnought except for Zanzibar that is a named Dreadnought, unless you count some of the odd ones from the 2000s. It's like 2 plus 2. We're gonna get the Thunder Machine with Thrasher. It's obvious. It's a no-brainer. So some of these things like Colonel Hawk and the MMS, as soon as they showed off the HMS with the Techno Viper in the Hiss colors, it was like, okay, we're getting the MMS with Colonel Hawk. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Now we're getting the Striker. There's no doubt in my mind when we're going to get an Eco Striker or a Tiger Force Striker. It's some of these things are low hanging fruit. It's so obvious that you don't even need to think about it.
Yeah, the Vamp Mark II. Yes. I mean, you know we're getting it.
Yes.
But something like the Thunder Machine is a one-off. It doesn't really have repaintability to it. And and again, obviously we're not in the meetings or whatever. It might still be on the table. I hope it is. It also might be one of those things where it was in discussions, and then everything that happened this year has happened, which I'm sure has changed decision making and budgets and what we're going to see now and what we may see later and what we may end up just never seeing. So it'll be interesting to see what we do get or don't get eventually.
I think we're more likely to get a Dreadnought ground assault before we get the Thunder Machine.
I don't.
Really?
Only because I think people want that Thrasher to wrap it up. So you have them all, other than Zanzibar, which we know they can do a small version like that.
Yep.
I personally thought a HasLab Thunder Machine would be perfect because you could give the base model of what the actual Thunder Machine looks like, but since it's a mix and match, you could do a different front end, something that looks like a Dodge Challenger or Charger, right? Different lights on the top, a different engine on the back, different guns as your tiers, so you can have different versions of it. But everyone told me I was stupid, and I said, okay, well, whatever, I don't care. Well, I just thought that'd be a great idea because just like what you said about the Hiss, right? It had all these modular pieces to make it look different.
Terry,
Well,
in order to get the ground assault, we need to get the Fang first.
Well, wait a second. Before we go into that, Lawrence had an idea that, let's see if people think you're stupid here. You said you wanted to get like a ground crew for the Rattler, right?
Yes. Well, I wanted one for the. I wanted
that
one
would
for the.
be like a new. That would be the Cobra version of ketchup and mustard. Right?
So we actually already have that.
Yes, the Cobra version we got. We didn't get this one.
What about this one?
Oh, classic.
Do they ship free?
Well, they like to make the female characters, right? Would this make sense? I mean,
well, and that's
Hasbro's
going
so woke.
to help you on the tariffs because they float themselves.
Yeah, they have built-in floaty devices. All right, we're all over the place, so I'm just going to pull up random pictures, and you guys are going to talk about them.
Sorry, I apologize.
Let's see here. Let me remove this from the stage so that I'm not pulling up inappropriate pictures. And
Can I say the funniest thing about this ground crew is the only difference between the ground crew and the Cobra one is the head. They could have just given it to us. They could have just given us the fucking ground crew for people that have a USS flag that need them.
Yeah.
And this, because Cobra likes to do females with the ferret, females with the claw, right? This would make sense if their version of ketchup and mustard were female, right?
Well, they did give us the pilot Baroness.
Yeah,
right. That's true.
The
and they're definitely going to reuse that mold for another version of Baroness. So
vintage Baroness.
Yeah. Let's go to this guy here. Who said we were getting this dude?
That's my wish list. Like, I've been waiting for them to officially announce this for a long time. This is my favorite version of Destro. And they've gone in on the Iron Grenadiers. We've got Metalhead. We've got the Grenadiers. We've got Darklon coming. Who did they name drop? Voltar? I think they did, right?
No, there's rumors of it. So I will say this: on one of the episodes of Full Force, he kind of let this slip. Yeah. He talked about Destro's despoiler coming, and he kind of I don't remember what episode it was, but he kind of glossed over it. It was after a bunch of rumors came out, and he kind of mentioned this really quickly. And he doesn't make those mistakes.
No. And he had a leak list from January that had this on it. And I know of vendors that had a vendor call in October that said this was coming this year.
Yes.
So we know it's coming. There's no doubt that it's on the way. This is the year of the Iron Grenadiers, so it definitely is coming.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised they've waited this long. I mean, we got Serpentor very early on. And then to kind of wait for this fan favorite version of Destro is a little surprising to me, but
And
yeah,
there's
bring them on. It's time we got another Destro.
there's
Yeah.
parts use with the Twilight Guard already. As soon as we got that 2-pack of
Yeah.
the Steel Core Gold Head and the Twilight, we were like, oh, that's a test for the Destro cape. That was a test for different parts of this Destro. So it was like the low hanging fruit. Some of this stuff is very easy to predict.
You know, it's funny, David. I made a video of how to boil and pop and make a this version of Destro using the Twilight Guard, and I just never edited it. So maybe I should do that and release it this month. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they may show a digital render on Wednesday.
Maybe.
Now, this to me seems like a Pulse exclusive, like
Yeah.
PulseCon exclusive, just like Serpentor was. I think Serpentor was the
I think
San Diego Comic
Winter
Con.
was the San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah.
Dr. Mindbender was
Yeah.
the PulseCon.
But this, I mean, this here is like the same, going to be around the same size as the Air Chariot and Serpentor. Well, nothing's going to be as big as Serpentor. The guy's like an 8-inch figure.
Yeah. Well, some people like 8 inches. Yeah. What about hiding him behind a paywall of having him a PulseCon exclusive? Is this a fan favorite? Does everybody need this in their collection, or what?
No doubt about it. Almost everybody that loves Destro and the Iron Grenadiers, this is the favorite version of him.
Okay, but you just said almost everybody that
Yeah.
loves Destro.
Nobody asked for this.
But here's the whole thing. You do this as a PulseCon exclusive, which have been relatively easy to get. And then the people that can't get it, you can still produce a different variation of this Destro, because it's been a long time since we've gotten Destro. We got Destro, and then we got Pimp Daddy Destro right after him, and
then retro.
And then the vintage.
yeah, and the retro one wasn't that far behind it, but he's the exact same. Now, in all honesty, that Destro is a great figure to this day. Other than pin joints, other than that, he's awesome.
See, and while I like the figure because Destro is one of my favorite figures, I think it's a first generation classified buck, and it's in need of an update. It needs better proportions. It needs better like movement. It needs better.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying they did such a good job with it.
Yeah, they should Zach Metal.
Very few people are complaining about it. I still think he's a great figure, but just like the Viper needed an update, and everything. So,
yeah.
Serpentor was super easy to get.
Whoa! Lies. Serpentor was not easy to get. I thought Serpentor was extremely easy to get.
I did too.
3 of them.
you just have to be at the right. You just have to listen. They tell you when they're going to go up.
Yeah, we should actually do an episode on that about.
No, because
it is 2025. I don't want to shit on anybody who's had a hard time getting it, but I actually think that we're going to see a retro Serpentor in the next year.
Yeah.
So if you still need Serpentor and the Chariot is not that important to you, which to me it is, it's all part of the character. There's still an opportunity to get them. So it's just, I thought it was easy to get. I haven't had an issue. I mean, even with Cobra Commander, Once a Man, I was kayaking on the Chesapeake when my notification went off, and I ordered it in the middle of the Chesapeake on a kayak.
Wow.
I was on the phone with Tony fucking Romo, driving back from up north after dropping my son off when Nemesis Immortal went up and got it right away.
Yep. I think Once a Man Cobra Commander, I was at the gym in between sets and I just ordered it and went right back to working out. Like,
Yeah, and it's not. I don't want this to come off as like we're a big circle of jerks. But the thing is, if you want something, and in today's world, you can set notifications
There's a
on.
thing-
There's a bunch of people on Instagram, on Twitter or X.
There's a
You
thing
can
on the
set your
phone.
notifications. Yeah, so
Probably
that-
wakes you up.
Or a
Probably
network
wakes you up
of
for
friends.
work every morning. Set it for that time.
Build a
What was
network
that, Barry?
of friends. A network of friends.
Yes, a network
Most
of
of us
friends.
know.
It's important. And to be honest, we all help each other out. There's a ton of people not in the YouTube or Instagram space that I have other chats with, and we all help each other out. So there's ways to get this stuff. It depends on how much or how important it is to you to go after. Like, if you know it's going up Wednesday at 1 and you're at work, go to the bathroom. I don't know what else to tell you. Go out and have your smoke break.
Look at what Shark Eyes just said.
I was on the shitter when I ordered my Serpentor. Everyone gets a toilet break at one point. There's a guy that I was talking to. He's in Switzerland, and he has to set his alarm to get up in the middle of the night in order to order a few things. But that's how into the line. So like there's people unwilling to do that, right? But if you're that vested in the line, you're gonna find ways to get this stuff.
I want to add to that, Baldy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go on and bitch and cry that it's not fair and that hey, some of us have to do this, you're clearly not that invested in it, because anything that you're invested in that you really want, you can find a way to get it. It's not that difficult. So I'm tired of people whining and crying about it. That I really love this line and I can't. Bullshit.
Well, can you read this one from Road Pig John?
Road Pig John says, "You guys are a bunch of jerks. Serpenta was very difficult to get for me. I think it was at the third restock that I got it.
But you got it.
Right? Yeah, so it wasn't that difficult."
Guys, I had to wait for a second release on Crystal Ball because it sold out the first time. Walmart just put it up a couple of weeks back, and I was able to get a couple. But
That's
I was
they
patient.
canceled other
I
people.
knew it would come back.
Because they canceled everyone's.
Oh, did they?
I don't know. I don't know, but everyone's
canceling everything. Target just canceled everything, right, Terry?
Yeah. Yes. Target canceled everybody's orders and is no longer carrying G.I. Joe. The line is dead.
Look, there is a trick for Target. If you want to know the trick, is you need to have a default card after your Target card goes over its limit or whatever. Have a default. You need defaults on all these.
I don't even have a Target card.
Or use a red card.
Yeah.
The red card will not charge you over and over and over.
It will not. All right, who picked this?
This was on my wish list. Globulus was on my wish list.
Oh, was
All right,
it?
and Terry sent his pictures over.
So yeah, this is on my wish list as well. The Globulus and Pythona. The Globulus that I'm showing here, that was actually a 3D printable STL.
Tony has it.
Donman Art Patreon. And
Tony has one.
The Pythona was released as in the figure subscription service and the 4-inch line. I have her as well hanging up here somewhere. But yeah, I want to see both of those, as well as the Royal Guards, which we're supposed to be getting.
Agreed. I want to see it all.
I do too. Let me see if I can switch things here. Terry, I think this is you again. I gotta remove that and add this.
Nope, that's
what the F is this?
Those are the zombies from the 50th, the 2-pack, and then I believe during Retaliation they did a zombie. So I was very disappointed that we didn't get more zombies after the mole rats, and I am all in on zombies. I want Cobra Trooper zombies, infantry zombies, Viper zombies, and Cesspool or whoever else could be in charge of that.
Well, David,
Yes.
that sounds very selfish because I'm scared of zombies.
Eco Warriors.
And Lenny did make a hint at the last interview during the Full Force. He said he loves Cesspool and would love to get him in the line. So guess what? Cesspool's on his way.
Nice. So who is Cesspool? Is it this one here? Hold on. Shit. This
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah,
That's Cesspool. Yep.
Yeah, baby.
he was a
he's
really
also
awesome
scared.
figure. He was the bad guy for the Eco Warriors.
That's right.
Yeah, so at that point I was out. I remember playing with some of the Eco Warriors with my younger cousin, but I wasn't too familiar with all the characters. I was kind of out of it at that point. But I do remember this guy because I remember the split down his face. I thought it was Cobra Commander, and I think my younger cousin told me this was Cobra Commander, but this is a separate character.
Yeah.
Separate character. Yeah.
And then hopefully, like, I still have my original Toxo zombie. That's the zombie I want. The Toxo Viper zombie.
Yeah.
All right. Who picked this guy?
I did.
This is Airtight.
Airtight, yeah, it's the collector club in the early 2000s. Before they did the FSS collector club, this was a version of Airtight that's much more Eco Warriors friendly. That's a big faux pas that Hasbro had to eat, that they made Flint the leader of Eco Warriors and not Airtight.
Yeah, that is interesting because Flint was known to drive around in that red convertible and throw trash on the side of the road. So it's really odd that they would make.
So I think this is a no-brainer. Airtight is one of the 85 core characters that was in Sunbow animated. He's been used in a lot of special missions and different oddball stories, and he's an easy reuse for different Eco Warriors costumes and things like that. So I think this is a figure that we should have already gotten.
All right. So real quick question about the original artwork here, or this exclusive artwork. Why is his crotch so much bigger than the actual figure?
You would have to ask the artist. I have no clue.
All right. Well, Spec, do you have anything to say? I know you're always looking in that area.
That is
He seems
that
to
is
be
that is a
well
nephew
endowed in the
crotch right
artwork
there.
and not so much in the figure. But I don't even recognize this design. Like I want the OG looking Airtight, or
Well,
a
this looks like
classified the OG.
what would be, I mean, it's probably about 15 years old at this point, but it was a G.I. Joe
It's older than that.
convention exclusive, right?
No, it was a club. Part of a club wave in the early 2000s, from like 2002 to 2007. There was a different club at that point, and they put out 6-figure waves. You could only get them one per month, or one per every month, every 2 months. And this was one of those years. It was part of a 6-figure wave.
The
Oh, you know what's
DTC
funny?
line.
I said exclusive, but it has an Acme sticker on it. So was this something you could get at Acme?
Well, whoever sold it to Acme, a collector, I bought it there.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. We are going to skip past a few pictures here and just look at who's got the Night Viper on their wish list.
I said that I'm pretty sure we'll see a render reveal of this.
I thought he was already confirmed.
He was confirmed. He was a name reveal. So I think we'll
And
see the render.
He's awesome.
David, and I think a lot of parts used from the Armor Cobra Commander to this figure, because it looks very similar. When they showed the Armor Cobra Commander, I was like, that's the Night Viper, because the armor isn't the exact Cobra Commander armor. It's slightly different, and it fits this Night Viper quite nicely.
I could see that. Sure.
I don't I don't see that, to be honest, because he's not really wearing.
Hold on,
armor.
hold on. Look closer. I'm
Nope.
just kidding. I'm just surprised I can zoom.
Everybody's like,
I mean, reuse is the name of the game. I'll stress this again. Every single company does it, from Jada to Valaverse to
no.
G.I. Joe. There's only one company that doesn't do it, and that's the Masters of the Universe from Mattel. I don't think they've ever done any type
Oh
of
man,
reuse.
they have molds. They have to have a whole warehouse for their molds because everyone's different.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why. I mean, like it's insane.
And they
but
keep
if
their
they can
figures
do it-
down cheap too. That's what's crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and pull up some more pictures. Spec, you want to hit a couple comments before my mom gets home and we get out of here?
Yeah, let's see. Edward says, "Sci-fi. We need him. He's a ranking officer, so we should get him." But he was
Edward.
a name. He was a name reveal, right? So
Edward, we couldn't have timed that better, buddy.
yeah, I have a feeling we will see a render of him as well.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question about sci-fi? Which version of sci-fi do you think we're going to get? Are we going to get that Operation Blackout, like mystery sci-fi, or do you think we're going to get this sci-fi?
I hope.
I think we'll get this one first.
I think we will probably see this one first because remember you mentioned the vocal minority.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing so much focus on retro. Actually, that's one of my predictions is that after this year and after this Yojo June, and maybe during this Yojo June, you're going to see more of a focus on the retro line than you will on classified. I'm not saying classified's done. I think you're going to start seeing a big focus on retro because they're now kind of like catering to that audience. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong. I said before.
I think we're going to see the same mix.
I've been wrong. But
I think we're going to see the same mix of them.
you think?
I think they'll stick
Well, I
with
mean,
it.
it is double dipping, which from a business standpoint makes a huge amount of sense.
Yep.
But you're still splitting your audience by doing that. I think they really should stick with classified and modern takes, but they're making a shit ton of money on the retro line.
Yeah. No, I think we'll see this, and then I think we're going to eventually see the other one because Lenny spent a lot of time designing a lot of these.
Yeah.
I think that we will. I don't know if anyone says it, but I think eventually we're going to see that Storm Shadow version of his because he's in the background of Desert Snake Eyes.
Yep.
That would be awesome to get that version.
What about these nerds?
I said, especially since we've seen the factory leaks, they'll probably show us the render for Slaughter and Mercer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I hope that they at least reveal Red Dog and Taurus.
I think we might see actual samples of Mercer and Sergeant Slaughter.
I think so.
Now,
Maybe. I mean, when we saw the factory leaks for Battle Armor Commander, Major Blood, and whoever the other two were,
Monkey Wrench and Snake Eyes for
Monkey Wrench and Snake Eyes, they showed us the renders. They didn't show us samples.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but
Lenny
Cal
played,
is saying
Snake
these two are 2026, but we could still see renders or name drops.
possibly.
Yeah. So one of the things that it seems like they've been doing the moment that there's a leak from the factory, they want to show it off.
Yeah.
At least that's how it's looked the past year or so. Something leaks, something gets shown off. They want to get out there ahead of time and just show you. I don't know if that's just coincidence. I don't think we're going to see the other two. Only because they like to drag it out. They've dragged
Yeah,
it out.
but
the
name reveal
weren't they rumored as a 2-pack after the Sergeant Slaughter and Mercer leak?
I
I haven't
believe
heard
Emily accidentally leaked it on that PulseCon when they said the other two were coming. And she said, yeah, we're going to get the other two. Oops. Oh, wait a minute. I
Right.
spoke
Yes.
too
Oh,
soon.
I missed that.
Your Danish friend liked to argue and fight about 2-packs and then block people.
Who are you talking to? Talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Zen.
Oh,
I have friends all over the world, Larry.
why? I didn't know. I mean, I was like, Matthew's not Danish.
I haven't gotten into an argument with Matthew. We've been on the same page lately.
I
Because you're
think
the
you
same
guys
fucking
are the
person.
same-
We are
Yeah,
not
you're
the same person.
You've never been seen in public together.
I know.
Yeah, listen, I don't. So when I look at this, right?
The line is not done when we get that General Hawk. That was an awesome General Hawk. Okay,
Yeah.
go Zen. Sorry.
And they misspelled Deke.
The pairing Mercer up with Slaughter, I think, is unnecessary.
I agree.
Because wouldn't you want a lesser known character like maybe Taurus or Red Dog with Slaughter and then Mercer with the other one? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I agree with you. But they said that this is not the Skybound Mercer, so he's not as big of a buck as that version would be. So maybe that's why they're giving us the smaller version of him. And eventually maybe we'll get the bigger Mercer down the road.
Like this big crotch version? What's going on here?
I like that.
Well, who doesn't like
that's
who
Falcon's
doesn't like
POV
that?
after he's on, parachuted and laying on the ground after he almost got blown off a cliff. That's
Listen,
the first thing he saw, Mercer's cock.
Jeez. Is that a 6-incher?
David is like, you guys are all banned from Joe Fest, and I'm never coming on here again. And Terry, we're no longer doing a show together.
Here you go, Larry. You can read this one.
Matthew isn't here. He's too busy fuming over Budo's swords being on the wrong side.
I think we have a picture of Budo. Let me see if I can pull that up.
He's not a fan of swords on the wrong side.
What is the wrong side?
He says that no swordsman carries them on the right side. They're always on the left side because they reach across as they're right-handed.
Interesting.
He said that's historically accurate on how they are.
But what if he's a lefty?
We've tried having this argument with him. We've just said, okay, Matthew, you're right. So he does not like the fact that Storm Shadows are on the right side. He went and fixed them as soon as he got them.
Well, there's one leak list out there or a rumor that Budo's part of a 2-pack, but this wouldn't be 2-pack material.
Budo wouldn't be a
No
2-pack.
way.
No, but
Not
that
this.
2-pack, can I interject something here? That 2-pack is kind of possible because it's the unreleased Ninja Force version of Budo with another character, and I'm not going to say who that other character is.
Why
But
not?
You could re-release this without all the extra stuff and just do a base Budo in the teal and
Okay.
black that he had.
So you're all right. So you're saying that this comes out as a deluxe, but that rumored 2-pack might be Budo in that figure.
Correct.
That makes a lot of sense because the mold's going right now.
Yeah, that's
And if you
true.
remember,
And-
Bazooka came out like right after another.
And that's where you get the Roblox and Tripwire, because Tripwire came out. Hey,
Yeah.
where can we reuse this mold? Tripwire and Roblox.
Now listen,
I think
David.
you nailed it.
David, you're the only one here with hair, so I got a question for you. When we're looking at this picture here, and you got Buddha with the man bun, and it's pulled very tightly back. Is it pulled back so tightly that he loses his little mustache and goatee on the other head?
No, because they're utilizing different time periods of Budo. That's the Devil's Due version. We use the ceremonial where he's in charge of the Red Ninjas in the 2000s. And that's a more traditional Budo that was in, I think it was like 89 version of Budo. So there are a 20-year difference there.
Okay.
So apparently the swords are supposed to be on the left side with the blade facing up.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay.
And Matthew does not like that. Like very much so. Like he constantly will tell them and anyone else that will listen.
I
Clearly Matthew's not in here, or he would have said something already.
All right, here we go. I got to throw this one up because it's it's such an obvious answer. I don't know why it's being asked.
I mean,
Do you want me to read it? I'll read the question and you guys answer it. And
One
we'll
exists and the other one is just made up.
We'll start with David at the top.
Aren't they
Question:
all just made up?
Who do you all think is better, Vala's or Hasbro's? The samurai. So Vala also made a samurai character.
I like Hasbro's.
Okay. Spec?
Hasbro.
Larry, I know your answer. You're going with Vala because you're a Vala ho. But
Yes,
go
right.
ahead.
Hasbro.
Hasbro. Terry?
I think Vala's is better for Vala's line, and Hasbro's is better for Hasbro's line.
Oh, that's such a political
God,
answer.
it's such a political answer.
Vala's is not GI Joe,
So
so it
here's
doesn't have to be the exact same.
here's the whole thing. Bobby already knew that they were eventually going to do a Budo.
Yeah.
He said they wouldn't do ninjas, but if he wanted to do something like this, there was no way for him to get around it. All right. He was going to have to do something knowing that the Joe Bros are going to fucking call him out, but he also knows that the Vala shows are going to say that Hasbro copied off of what he did. So
Yeah.
either way, if you like the Vala one, buy it and enjoy it.
And you know what? I will say this about the Valaverse line. Let me get this off the stage here.
I like both lines.
I'll be honest with you. Action Force and Vala, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It is a love letter to the original G.I. Joe line. A love letter from Bobby. Yeah. Okay. He did the points system, which is like the flag points. He tried to do the mail away stuff. He does the file card. Whether it's a love letter, whether it's being copied, whether it's being an updated, I don't know, version of it, he's celebrating the love of G.I. Joe, right? So whether you like it or not, you don't have to like it. But that samurai character that they released, some other characters that they released are inspired by G.I. Joe.
Is it a love letter, or is it more like a jilted lover that you try and get a restraining order against?
Or is it the guy who's gonna maybe not do as well on the test leaning over and looking at your Scantron answers?
I mean, I feel like that there's love there to a point, but is it like, do you find a rabbit boiling in a pot on your stove type of thing, or?
I mean, it's possible.
Or here you go, Crusty Old Crow. It's a Dear John letter written in tears.
It's definitely homaging the brand of the real American hero in the 80s.
You're talking too much sense for this show. But that's actually a great way to say it. It's an homage, right? So just like Delta 17 is with the O-rings, it feels like a natural progression of a real American hero.
Right.
Operation Recall.
Well, only I can't point to each operation or each Delta Force figure or Delta 17 and be like, oh, well, that one is so and so, and that one is so and that one is so and so. That's
well, they
problem.
do have some of their Ninja Samurai Commando characters.
I can point to Firefly. That's about it. There's one that looks like Firefly.
I don't want to read this one out loud because my phone will do it.
I was hoping somebody would do that.
Hey Siri, play Tainted Love.
It almost
my
picked
phone
it
was
up.
out of reach.
Oh my god! All right, well, listen. I know we didn't touch on everybody's things. Does anybody want to give a?
You got to bring it down. You're going to demonetize everything.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we're going to start with David since he's our special guest.
We do have to wrap. I have to wrap it up because I got to leave. Like,
all right.
soon.
So we'll start with you then, and then you can just bolt out of here. Give me one wish list thing that we didn't touch and one prediction.
Well, the prediction was the Flash. Well, not the Flash. Flash.
Wrong universe.
Yeah. was Flash and the a police officer for the, what is it called again? Legacy line.
Legacy line.
I still want to see, and I will continue to say it, I want to see a Billy. There's no reason why Billy should not have been made yet. He is so integral to the Arashikage, Cobra Commander, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, you know, why they won't do it. And then I said I want a ground crew for the Rattler. I'd also want one for the Dragonfly, but I feel like that time's come and gone.
No, I think they can still revisit that. Mom, Larry's still talking, and the other guys want to have a turn. So just give me a few minutes. Go ahead, Larry.
They could, but I don't know why they haven't. They should have that ready to go.
All right. Well, we know you have to go, so that's it. Just get out of here.
Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow, Monday night.
All right. See you, Larry. David, let's go to you. We're gonna wrap it up. So give me one wish list that maybe we didn't hit on, and one prediction.
Which David?
You.
You.
My wish list item would be the Havoc with Cross Country as a HasLab, because there's so much toy playability with that, with the hovercraft, with the modular ability of different add-ons and figures you can put with that. And I think there's a little customization you could do with it, and take some things from the hiss maybe and add to it. And you could add some really cool versions of Cross Country. You could have the politically incorrect Cross Country, and you can have the 2000 or the earlier version of Cross Country, and you can add some other cool figures, drivers that we're not going to get in classified. You can add another driver to it. But that would be my wish. My pipe dream wish is to get Cross Country and the Havoc. You covered my three other ones already: Airtight, Cesspool, and the Zombies. So I'll let that go.
All right, cool. Terry?
Yeah, I want to see Don Marino for sure. I'd love to see that.
And that's a wish list. Do you have a prediction of what we might see this month?
I don't. I just saw the comment, and I agree that I would like to see Don Marino.
I think they'll get there. I mean, I don't know if she's still considered a deep cut, but there's a lot of G.I. Joe fans that don't know about her.
I think she's still consistent in the comic book, isn't she, David?
Yeah,
Yep.
she is. Yep.
David's. Spec. Anything we missed? I know we missed shit.
I'm sure we missed shit. My predictions and my wish lists got covered, so I didn't really think too deep beyond that.
I think we'll probably see the Ostriker pre-order coming up this month.
Yeah, that.
All right.
I'm gonna be the lone voice of dissent that I've always been and say I don't want to see a tank. I don't want a tank. I don't want it as a HasLab. If it's announced, I'll buy it, but I would rather see other stuff.
All right. Well, only shills will just blindly buy. I'll go over Tony's real quick. I don't have his pictures up because they didn't download for some reason, but he's hoping that and I think we touched on it, the Thunder Machine. You know what? I'm just going to get real unprofessional here and see if I have it. If I have it saved. Mainframe. He wants Mainframe.
Yeah, we need Mainframe.
That's a low-hanging fruit. There's no way they're not going to continue this line without doing that character.
So that's one of his predictions, and he also said Lifeline, which would be great. And then my prediction is that we're going to see more of a focus on some retro styled things. I don't think we're going to see classified slow down at all. But another prediction is I think we're getting a HasLab. I think we're going to get one more HasLab at least, but they might adopt the made to order model that they started with the Sentinel and they started with Dragon Man. And maybe start to move to that model across the board and do HasLabs every now and then, because the HasLab is a huge commitment, and I think they'll still do a HasLab this year, but we may start to see them adopt that made to order thing, like maybe for a Snowcat or for their the Thunder Machine, something like that. But that's my prediction, is that that's the way the line will go. Spec, did you want to turn that on so we could hear you cough and sneeze?
Bless you.
And fart. Sneeze and fart.
Oh man, it's that time of life, right? Mom, we're wrapping up. David Allen, stay behind because my mom's making me hang up now. She needs we have dial up and she needs the phone. So
she's gonna hang up on you.
She's probably gonna hang up. Everybody that watched today, sorry that it was another shit show, but that's what we do here. We're gonna do another special missions on Wednesday, but we'll still have our regular Tuesday show. So join us on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're going to have special missions, and we have actually 1 or 2 special guests that will be joining us at 8 o'clock that night. And then you'll see some of us again on a toy kind of mood later that night. But that's it. I don't like to promote stuff because my mom just makes me shut it down just like this.